Welcome to another episode of Space Engineers, and this is episode 26, I believe, of Prototech Pursuit, as we gently coast our way over top of our platform, just taking in all of the work we've done so far in the series, as well as you can see, there's some extra drones there, and what is this? That extra spot there in the corner that was blank last episode, I filled it in. We can take a look at what is there now. So let's go check it out. So if you're walking along the platform here, you would first see, oh, there's a big thing right there. It's all connected in. We can come along a bit further and up this staircase, and we now have our Prototech section over here, where we have all of our various Prototech blocks that we have captured, as well as our Prototech cargo container. I moved it over here so that way it is all in one nice spot. We've got our small grid refinery, and they're all just connected down with some mag plates. Our jump drive all hooked in and ready to go, as well as our small grid jump drive and our small grid battery bundle that we have, as well as our assembler, which now is all hooked up, and we can properly use it to build various components. We can also use it to build Prototech scrap, which is going, use up our Prototech scrap to build various components. Not build the scrap. Which, I mean, actually, we could just disassemble stuff and get scrap out of them. Because machinery, gives you 1.5. Assembling needs 1.15. So, yeah, it is a lossless process there. So we can change around this Prototech to whatever we will need. But then also, we can make Prototech panels. So if we start that up, should be able to call the various bits and actually make Prototech. And we're actually building Prototech, and it's being put into our little Prototech cargo container. Hell yeah, baby! We've got Prototech production. The other thing I did was I made a few extra drones. Yes. We have 6 drones here, all ready to go, and it's just amazing how quickly and efficiently I can build a new drone just by going over here. And I've labeled these. We can have assault drones. We don't have anything yet for these ones to activate their respective projectors, and then we just have a print button, and then it just spits me out a drone, fully functional, and then I can just bring it up here and park it on one of the platforms and run out of energy, which is why I installed this over here. Give me energy. There we go. But yeah, we just got so many drones, and this is great. We'll be able to use a lot of them in the future, because I have ideas of maybe making some drone carrier ship that I can just go in and just unleash 20 drones on the enemy. Just throw it at them and let them have to deal with all of that. But today we're going to work on the destroyer, because I'm really liking this ship. It works really well, but I'm just getting a little annoyed with how quickly my various weaponry gets shot off. One good round comes in and it clips the hinge or the advanced rotor part, and the turret's gone. And that's getting a little tiresome. It's getting a little annoying. And so I'm thinking we're going to retrofit this thing, take out the rotor turrets. Oh, how much I love my rotor turrets, but I think they're going to have issues if we have we're relying on them. And we're just going to put in regular turrets, but with the regular turrets, we are going to build them up with welders built into the design here, so that we can auto rebuild our turrets mid-combat. We'll be able to deploy our projector, which I'll probably need to reposition, but that is all right. And then take some resources in this cargo container, which it currently has got way too much crap in it. But take some resources to be able to rebuild our various turrets in the middle of battle. So if I'm going along and I have my Gatling turret, or whatever I'm going to replace over here, gets shot off, another Gatling turret gets built up a few seconds later and starts fighting again. So I'm not going to lose my DPS mid-battle. I'm always going to have some level of firepower. I think that's going to be really powerful, and so that's what we're going to do today. And first thing to do, like always, is we're going to move the ship up above the platform, so it's more in range of all of the build and repairs, so that they can help me with these retrofits. We're going to let it sit right there. And now we can get to stripping this thing out. We can thankfully use the color painting of the build and repair. Should be able to paint that entire section there and allow it to cut these turrets down efficiently. And see what we can put in their spots. Alright, with those mostly gone, let me just dump what I have on hand here. We're going to be looking for locations where we can run additional conveyorage beside the turret. So, like, for example, right here, we can cut down 2 blocks. And we have access to a conveyor there on the side. So we can... I've got to get it off of my, my grind away color. We can stick a welder right here. And then we have another conveyor of some kind. I got to actually have the resources to do that. That would be important. And probably just like a reinforced tube going up. And then on top of that, we can place a turret. Now the question is, what turrets? Where? Because before, we used to have assault cannons and some Gatlings on here. So I'm wondering if we go back to assault and Gatling. One reason being is that then I would be in the same ammunition as my drones. We got assault cannons. Well, they've got autos, but I mean, close enough. We'd both be using assault. The other thing I could do is we could increase our range by using artillery. We could have artillery cannons. And that might be a good option because we do have the uranium now to be able to do this. If we come down here into the cargo, we can look at what we have. Uranium ingots. We have a lot, as we've been processing a lot of uranium. And I mean like hundreds and hundreds of ingots. So when you look at an assembler and you're making a single artillery shell and it needs 0.03, that's not much. We can get away with that. Like, we can make a lot. We make like 100, what would we be? 100 of those, we're only making like 3 uranium. Like, it's negligible. We can make a ton of artillery. So we might want to do that. Because then also we can push out our range to that 2 kilometers. If you look on the right side there, 2 kilometers for artillery and 1.4 for assault. So we push ourselves out that little bit further. We're able to stay a little bit further from the fight and put down some fire from a distance. So I think that might be the option. Go artillery cannons. In which case, if we're looking at the shape of this ship, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to fit an artillery over here. So if I just, I don't know, slap down a tube real quick, just so I have something to place this on. If I put an artillery there, you can see how much it's coming off the edge. And I mean, even if I took this...
Inventory full.
Stupid inventory. And I quickly replaced it with like an armor block like that. Even that's not really fully covering the turret's footprint, at least for artillery. For assault it does. That covers it more than enough. But artillery kind of wants to have the full blocks all around it. So I'm not sure if I want to put artillery on the wings, so to speak. But what I'm thinking is I could easily sneak in artillery on these flat surfaces here. So first off, we're going to have a welder, because we want to be able to repair this artillery. And then we can go with a reinforced tube coming up. And then with that, we slap down a nice big artillery right there on the roof. I think that is the winning ticket there. We get a nice chonky artillery cannon right on our roof, and we potentially just go dual artillery. We can have one here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work, because I do I may need to remove the assembler from inside here in order to get stuff to fit, because it's starting to get cramped. I would like to have a welder that is popping up, but it's like right where this assembler is. But possibly I just remove a single speed module. I can keep the assembler. I can just put the welder right on the top of the speed module, right? I can do that. And then I can put the turret, I can go reinforce corner to bring it back, and then reinforce corner to bring it up. And I can put the turret there. And that way it'll be in the center of that space. I like that. I think that's what we're doing. Alright. But then we have a space in here where I don't know what to put in here, so we'll put in a gyro. If I don't know what to do, throw in a gyroscope. Because more gyro authority is always good. Because then what I can do is I can throw in that welder right there. And then the turret on top. And we've gotten ourselves dual artillery on the roof of this thing. But then there is a question of these sides and such. What I wanted to do there. We are going to punch in here.
Full. Inventory full.
And right, all right, I'm going to be taking gyroscopes out here. Also, my inventory full. I'm going to go freaking... Because I want these to be able to rebuild. We have to dump these gyros. They have to go. And we need to put a welder in like so. So we can do that on the other side as well. And welder in there. Get that all built up. Because then I have to make a decision of what turret would fit here. I theoretically could go more artillery. I could do a combo of artillery assault cannons. But honestly, it might just be the right choice just to go Gatlings on the wings. Because I can go another artillery down here, right? I can dump stuff into there for a second. Cut this away a bit. Dropped another speed module. Replace the gyro, which is I'm good because I'm losing gyros. And then what? I could bring the conveyor tube up. And then I could put the welder on its side, maybe. Like so. With then the conveyor tube pointing up. And the artillery. Because that works. That welder should definitely weld up that artillery in mid-battle. And then I just need to go a nice little heavy armor panel right there to cover up the welder. Yeah, that works too. Means the welder on the artillery on the bottom is one block forward compared to the top, but whatever, doesn't really matter. That works. Yeah, I'm thinking that these sides here, I'll keep them pointed because I like the shape of this. And then I just go GAT. Make the turrets the dark color. Because then I'll have a GAT there, 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 and on the bottom pylon thing, and then on the butt. So I'll have 5 Gatling in total, and 3 artillery, plus the 4 interiors. But really, they don't count. They're just there as extra. But then I can set up everything to have a mid-combat repair welder. So that if anything gets shot off or damaged, they'll get patched up lickety-split. Alright. Get the GAT up there. Got the GAT there with a welder. This one at the bottom needs a welder set up. Welder down. Then a conveyor tube. And the Gatling itself. And then all that's left, I think, is just this one in the butt. I think we can make this thing have a repair itself. Yeah, we just need to go in and change this reinforced conveyor tube to a T and have it coming down to fit in a welder right there. So we'll do a T reinforced. And then this will be the welder. Make this nice and dark color. And there we go. The back is also being repaired up mid-battle. And hopefully, I should test this. I think that this might touch the engines. I want to turn this on. And yes! Oh, okay, that's gonna repair my main engines as well mid-battle. Okay, that's excellent. So if these take a random hit and they lose some steel plate on them, we're going to get repaired. The same thing for these. If they take some hit to their steel plate, they get repaired. Oh, that is perfect. That's actually better than I wanted it to be. But what I might do is I might change this one. Instead of a more drastic slope like that, we'll go with the 2x1 slope and give this thing a little bit of a cover to it. So it just gets that little bit of extra protection, which will be great. Awesome. So now all of my guns are getting healed up mid-battle, as well as my main thrusters. The only thing that's not is going to be my maneuvering thrusters and such, but that's probably fine. The next thing I think is I'm going to move this up just slightly. And okay, I have to I have to rework the interior here. That's a little bit annoying to get through. I mean, it's possible. Might have to move this. But it's fine. We're going to move up just slightly so we have a bit more room to work with. And we're going to try to get another 1 or 2 drones on this thing. Because right now we have these cheek-mounted drones, and that is excellent. I love these things. They are pretty cheap in terms of the amount of platinum and gold that they need to get printed to get the thruster components. And throwing them into battle, easy. Just get in there, have fun. They shoot artillery shots. If they get pushed, they shoot the autocannons. Yay. But 2 isn't enough. We need more. So what I'm thinking is that we have this area here. I think we do more there. And I'm not sure if I want to do another 1 or another 2. Because if I was going to do another 1, I just put it in the center. So I believe somewhere around here, but again, I gotta dump off all this stuff I'm carrying. Somewhere around here. Yeah, there's the conveyor line, right there. So that's the conveyor line that goes across to connect these up. So realistically, what I can do is go into these spots. I can punch out this straight tube. I can replace it with a T-junction and then put a connector right in the bottom here and then just shape the armor around it a little bit to make it work. But the question is, do I do... How many do I put there? How many do I want to carry? And how many is it going to be? Because also when I launch them, how annoying are they going to be? Like, when I have them on the sides, and I do like the spin to the side, and I'm rotating around, and then I click to launch them, and one goes flying off one direction, the other goes flying off the other direction. If I have these on the same part here, how spread are they going to spread out when I spin? But I mean, I guess the only way I can figure that out is just to try it. Why not? I've got all of my drones here. I've got tons of stuff I can do. So why don't I just slap down a few... Whoa! Hello? Whoa, why is the ship just flying away? Wait, why? What the hell happened? Well, I gotta get my spectator camera. Okay, the platform is fine. I didn't touch the platform. I just, for some reason, I put down a connector and the ship decided to go to Narnia. What the hell? Okay. Can we try that again? Okay. Okay, didn't fly away this time. How about you? Okay, didn't fly away this time. I have no idea why that happened, but we're going to head back to the platform and get those built up and put some drones there and do a test deployment. I also need to go get all my tools and bottles back and such. They're all gone. Where's my bottles? There's my tools. There's probably what my bottles are. Oh god, I don't need 8 of my things. So we should be able to go into here, and with the connectors, we got destroyer drone connectors. We'll just add these 3 in there as well, and just go grab 3 drones and plug them in. Ooh, this might be a problem. This is a little close. I mean, it works. It fits. I'm just worried about the deployment of them, and I need dampers off for you. All right. Okay, that's looking pretty awesome, having all those drones on there. The question is, do they deploy nicely? So let's go figure that out. All right, so we'll just move over here into open space. We'll stop up. And I believe... Is this the version? Oh, I might have an old version of the drone being the ones that I printed that don't have the event controller on them. That makes them like turn on when they get disconnected. Drat. Well, that's alright. All I need to do is just go into the drones and turn on their dampeners, because I just don't want them to be flying off into the middle of nowhere. Alright, so they all have their dampeners on. So this will be like I have them set up properly, which I don't, which I'll need to retrofit that, but, I mean, that's easy. I can also, if I wanted to, just fix the blueprint, tell Build and Repair to grind these down, and then just print off correct versions. And we should be able to rotate and then hit 5, and we'll see what kind of a release we get. Oh! Okay, that works very well. Oh! That's a nice spread. Okay, that spreads them out well enough that they would be able to go into combat and not hit each other on their way. That was my only concern, is whether or not these three at the bottom here would spread out laterally enough in order to not bonk themselves when they were doing it. And it looks just perfect. Because we've got the ship there. I gotta pull back a little bit here. So we've got our ship right there in the center. We've got, because I was probably angled this way when I released it, because we've got one over there, we've got one over there, and then we've got the 3 down here nicely separated. Yeah, that looks good. We can do 5. I think that's the limit of how much we should be able to carry. And we'll just have to change up the armor here so that this is a bit smoother. We can probably just have like a little bit of a bump here. Change this shaping a little bit. Mirror it on the other side. And just have sort of a ridge down the center that is where the drones connect. Alright. Let's shuttle all these drones back and get to work on that. And all I really need to do is get them into range of Build and Repair so that I can recycle them and replace them with properly constructed versions that don't have, well, that do have the event controller to control their launching. Alright, so for this section here, we can use our Build and Repairs to cut away at all this armor shaping. As well, hopefully the thing doesn't decide to run off to Narnia when these small conveyors get cut out. Hopefully. Right? Okay, good. And we can cut out our different sections here of here, here, and here. Because that's where we're going to be putting our conveyorage. We can do that with our... We have a T, but I need more than a T. I need a full junction here. Yep, I need a full conveyor junction there. But for this, I can just use a T junction. But a reinforced T, like so. There and there. Then I can add in the small conveyors again. And it didn't decide to fly off to Narnia. Yay! And then just the armor in between. slope that down there. Slope that down there. This will be heavy armor slopes. 2x1 bases. And then, oh, this is a simple, this is a simple block. There we go, done. That armor shaping went a lot smoother than I wanted. I was expecting this to be like an annoying little piece of armor shaping, but no, that worked quite well. And then bada boom, bada bing, we have our little mounting bracket for all of our drones. Hell yeah, that went really smooth. That was easy. Put our line through there. Put that through there. Give a little bit of color. Might as well get these ones blue as well, so they all match. All right. Ooh, military escort 8.6. Okay, he's moving away. That's all that matters. And with that, I think we've kind of retrofitted this to the point where it's ready to rock. We're just going to go plug it back in to get it charging up. And it's also pretty low on hydrogen at the moment. Plug that in. And stockpile and charge. Oh, yeah, that's it. We need the fuel on this, which I should probably set up an event controller on here to auto do that. Yeah, why don't we? Let's detach. We'll just pull away a little bit here. And we have, on the other side of this conveyor tube, stuff that I'm not going to use anymore. We have a shower here. We have lockers. Oh, God, my vent is over here. Thankfully, that's not airtight. Actually, the lockers are kind of making my airlock work, so that stays. But we don't need a we don't need a toilet. Who needs a toilet? We'll just put a piece of armor here. And then this spot can be our event controller for this ship. And then we'll go reinforced tube back upwards. And sure, let's link it so we can see it. So we know that's a tube. So this event controller will be for docking. And this is going to be the destroyer. Destroyer docking. So, set up actions. We're going to, when the connector lock, we're going to go with our inset connector. And we're just going to make sure that connector is properly named. When the inset connector destroyer is unlocked when connected, we're going to go to our tank and we're going to go stockpile. When disconnected, stockpile off. Then we're going to go over here, and this is going to be for groups. Let's go for our batteries. We're going to go recharge on and recharge off. So now we bring ourselves back in and tuck up. Connect. Automatically recharged and refilled. Turn off our dampeners there in case we need to move the platform. Very good. This thing will always be topped off whenever it needs to. Realistically, we should probably do something like that for these as well. Yeah, I should go in and do some edits here and do some changes, because this is the old one here. It's because it's still got our armor block there. This is the new one because it has a merge block. But we have an AI... Yeah, we have some stuff here that I don't need. We have the AI offensive. We don't need an AI defensive because we have the AI offensive. And we don't need a task block. Unless we're going to put in a thing that it, like, runs away. But I kind of feel like these are going to be disposable. Like, I have enough resources now that I feel like these are disposable. So, I don't think we need an AI task. I think we just need an event controller, which is going to control our launch, and an event controller that is going to control our docking. So when this docks, the batteries will go on recharge, and when it launches, it will turn on all of its AI. Because we should have an AI move in there somewhere as well. So, because we have our AI... Oh God, I accidentally pressed Steam. Take a screenshot. We have area flight, an AI offensive. Just make sure these are correct. Search interval is 5 seconds. Yes, this is an old version that I grabbed, unfortunately. And I wanted to keep it out at like 1,000 to 1,200. We're using the assault cannons as a static weapon. And I think I'm going to name these assault cannon drone, just in case in the future I need that. Battery drone. So event controller is going to be the docking. And we're going to have the drone launch. But they're both going to be doing the small insect connector as their target. I mean, because I just want to be able to have like one of these off, the drone launch, and then when I want to, turn on, like activate the drone launch thing, and then release them when I want to. I could theoretically do this on one event controller. It's possible. But AI flight, good. We want 100 meter speed as our top speed. It doesn't really matter if that's connected because we're all out in space. We don't need precision mode because we're out in the middle of combat. We just need to move quickly. AI offensive is going for enemies, which we're going to go for closest, sure, with weapons stay at range 1,000 to 1,200. Using evasive maneuvers, use static weapons, and very good. So for drone docking, we have our batteries, which we'll group into batteries, drone docking, connector lock unlock, select actions, and then we'll just have the group of batteries and just be when connected, recharge on, when disconnected, recharge off. Very simple. That way it can dock. And then when we're launching, we only care about stuff that's when it's disconnected. So the connector lock unlock, we're going to select actions, and when disconnected, we're going to go AI flight move, AI behavior on, and then AI offensive, when disconnected, AI behavior on. That's all that needs to do. We can also probably set up something with like all the cannons being off at the start, and then when they're launched, all their stuff turns on, so we don't have the turrets moving around and possibly doing silly stuff. But honestly, this is fine. Just leave it as is. You guys shoot at weapons. And shoot at small and large, not targeting rockets is probably fine, considering that you'll probably never shoot down a rocket. Too difficult for you. So this way, I can have my drone docking on when I'm working on them and have a launch off, and I can work on them and move them around and dock them and do stuff, and they'll still charge. But then when I'm ready to go and I've got them all loaded onto the destroyer there, then I just go into the destroyer, find the launch one, and turn them all on, and they're sort of armed. And then when I'm ready, do my spin maneuver and release them, and then they're all just gone off to do their thing. Yeah, I think that works. We'll just slice that down, and we'll take a copy of this. We have to pop into the creative to take a copy of this. Excellent, we got it on our clipboard. Now we can open up our blueprints, get the assault drone, replace. And now that's replaced. Pop out of creative, And we can pop back over to here and replace the blueprint in the projector. Projector, assault drone, blueprints, assault drone. And unfortunately, it has moved. Okay, I'll have to reset that, but we can see our event controllers now. Oh, and I didn't check that. Because I want this to have its dampeners off when I spawn it in. Dampeners off. There we go. Let me blueprint it from the small merge block here. And easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. We've got the event controllers to control this thing's launch. So realistically what I can do is I can take for all of these and I just need to actually just disconnect them as long as they're not part of the base, because they're all the old version that do not have this done to them. And except this one. This is the one I manually retrofitted. We can keep this one. I can just go like this and get building repairs to recycle them. And I can start printing off a new set. Whatever. Just print off a whole new set. And let's go print. This thing is glorious. There we go. That's printed off. And just gotta slap a seat down on here. We can go park this thing up in a moment. And I had a thought. A revelation that might make this thing a little bit more effective and simpler as well. I wonder if I do a salt cannon on this at all. What if, instead of it's not a salt cannon, instead of auto cannon on here, I take the 3 auto cannons off, and I just put small grid assault cannons in their place. What if I just have like a 5 assault cannon turrets? Oh my god. Why can I not place an assault cannon there is a very good question. Oh, maybe it's because of the... it's the hitbox back here. We're not allowed. What's behind this again? What is there? What are you? You are... batteries? Yes, you are batteries. How far forward do I need to take this? Because I can bring it to here. Let's see. Let's see where this looks weird. Because I just need to bring it 1 click forward. I mean, that, or I can just clean up this a little bit. Maybe even make the thing 1 tick longer. I could make it a little bit longer. It is entirely possible. Because I'm thinking, like, if I do assault cannon all around this thing, and this thing is just pure assault cannons, then that'd be awesome. Oh, does it interfere with each other? It does. If I put one there, it's... Oh my god, really? God, the bounding boxes on some of the turrets, man, they're so huge. They're no fun. That's no fun, having a giant bounding box. Look at the rocket turret. It doesn't take that much space. Look at the GAT. It doesn't have this huge over-the-side thing. The autocannon only has a little bit. But I mean, I could do like a pair of assaults. I could do like an assault on either side there. So I could have 4 assaults, and I can do an autocannon on top, I guess. Or I could just make this thing bigger. I can move this down a block. Somehow, I can make this thing a bit fatter. Move this down. And I could put this like over here. It would work. It would work! No. But I totally could put an assault on each side. If I made this thing a block longer, and then I could have a... Even without autocannon on the top. I mean, even without it. Or possibly just set this one here, like forward, and then set this one at the back. And then just have that. And just make that work that way. And, ooh. 4.795. Wait, I can jump that far. Can't I? Wait, I'm gonna go look at my Prototech jump drive. I think I can actually jump that far. 4795. 4451. Almost. Almost I can jump that far. God damn. We might have to go over there. But I want to do it. I want to make this thing one block longer. I'm going to design that. Or can we do that right now? Ah. What could we do to this thing? I'd have to pop into creative in order to design it properly. We can let the stuff grind that down as we whoa, god damn it. Pop into creative here and screw around with this thing. Take this, and if we need to make it a block longer, we'll just cut through it. I want to say here. And we'll leave the back. Actually, yes, we'll get rid of the back there. We'll copy it again. This is how I do surgery on my ships. And then we'll cut through the bit here again. So we'll save the back there. We'll cut away the front. So we got the front and the back. And now we just need to add... We took away one block in here. We need to add a block. So we could add... Because we like the turret there, right? That's the very front. Nice turret placement on either side. It's going rooty tooty point shooty. Then if we come back from there on the top, at what point can we place a turret on the top? Here. So that needs to be matching with, say, that, but we need to be able to get conveyorage access to this. And that's through our ion thrusters, which are our only brakes, which are already... This thing is already really bad at slowing down, because it's only got these 3 tiny brakes. Oh, so we might have to add some more braking thrust somewhere. Maybe that's where we make this thing one block wider. Ooh. Maybe that's the way. Because if we were one block wider, we see this guy is occupying the space there, but if we were one block wider on either side, we could put the turret right at the front. We could do that. But it wouldn't be able to fit. If we make it one block wider, we wouldn't be able to fit 3 turrets here on the bottom. Not turrets, 3 drones. We'd probably only be able to fit 2, one on each end. But would we rather have 5 of these with autocannons or 4 of these with a ton of assault? And I'm thinking a ton of assault. I think that's probably the better option here. Right? Right. I think so too. So I think we make this thing wider. In which case, if we're going to gain a whole side like of width here, we can cut away all this. I did not mean to cut away that parts of it, but okay. And we can go doop, doop. Oh, I might as well just cut all this away. And actually should be able to just be able to delete that. Because if we make all this wider, those thrusters can come out from. So, thrusters. We'll get the ion thrusters here. These thrusters can be now out here. We're going to have to run conveyorage back to this. We're going to need space there. But now we have a ton of space in here to do 8 braking thrusters. Right? Ton of space. And I wonder if we actually do need 2 batteries. Oh, we might into be not having power surges, right? Because these things, these ion thrusters, max 200 kilowatts. And this thing puts out max 4 megawatts. So 200, so it's a 0.2 to 4, because that's like a 400. No, it's like a 4,000 into 200. So we can probably run all of our thrusters off of that quite nicely. Our large versions take 2.4 megas. Okay, so if my 2 larges are firing in the back, 1 battery isn't enough. We need 2 batteries. Okay, that's good to know. So we do need 2 batteries, because we're going to have 2 large thrusters in the back, like so. So we do need 2 batteries. But since we're going to make this thing a bit longer, we could stack these in and bring them out a little bit here. These things need 2 blocks of space, so I need to come out a bit further. And then we can add the battery in 2 blocks forward of them. I wonder. Or if I just make a ton of small batteries. Fill in these sides here. Because each one of these can do 200 kilowatts, which is exactly what 1 thruster is. And I could just make it fit a bit better, couldn't I? Because what it's looking like now is I'm going to have my batteries, like, really far out here on the sides. I mean, that works. Then we have that hole there for a small conveyor, which will then have a salt cannon on it. And then we just need to have this the right amount. So from there, the assault cannon is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks from where the other cannons will be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just spacing blocks. So that's where they're going to be. So it should be that I can put this right here directly on the edge of this. Yeah, I just need to cut this off. And then I can go and copy that. And throw that on there. But that should work. Yeah. We can also, I think, move our cargo container back, couldn't we? I think that might actually be a good idea to move our cargo container back. Yeah, I think I might just do repeating conveyor sorters here. Not sorters, conveyor converters. Because we'll do like a large face to there, and then we'll slip it around, do another one there, so that way we can have the these things be fed. But having a cargo, our medium cargo container, be a little bit further back is going to be useful. Just deeper into the design, less... There's more stuff to shoot through to get to the ammo storage. So we need 2 blocks forward for these guys. So it would go right in this gap. So then all we need here is a frame in order to bridge this space. Then the cargo container with its port facing downwards so that we can use that port as our docking port. And that should give us a super duper assault drone. This is way better than the assault drone we This is better than these guys over here with their silly auto cannons. This is a way better version. Alright, we can delete all the little in-betweens. And we can just really simply fill in the armor. Then we can delete this thing and, well, blueprint it, then, then delete it. And we should be good. And then besides recoloring it a little bit, there, that's a way better assault drone, as I'm using my finger quotes so you guys can't see. Yeah, that is really simple. I just load it with pure assault cannon. And it sits back at range, and it'll just pump shots in with 5 assault cannons. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? This is such a better drone. Especially if I'm going to have it do that strategy of in the AI flight where I'm going to, or the AI offensive, where I'm going to have it sit at range, right? Like, sit out 1,000 to 14. Like, I'm going to try to stay out of their Gatling range, and I'm going to just use my assault cannons. That's such a better way to do it. Oh, I'm going to have to set up the groups again because this broke. Drone batteries. I wonder if that, yeah, it broke that. So when connected, recharge. When disconnected, turn off. But the rest of it should be good. No, probably not. Select actions. No, you are actually fine. Okay, because that was all in the tail section. So that all worked out in the end. All right. And we have a bunch more braking thrust on this. So when I throw a seat on here, because I was having trouble flying these earlier because it was really annoying to slow down. We have the big thrust in the back. And then we actually... I mean, it's not fast, but it's better than before, at least. But we have an assault drone. Way better assault drone. Okay. There we go. There we go. But I could have this as a variant. So what I can do now... I'll fix the colors later, but what I can do now is I can go to the... We'll do it on the butt here. We'll blueprint this, and we'll rename this as Assault Drone 2. And we can head over here and activate Timer 2, the printer for the... projector to call that Assault Drone 2 blueprints, throw it in there, and then all we need to do is position it, and got it positioned, and it fits, although it's got the... I'll fix this. It shouldn't have the control seat on it, and I need to properly color it. But now what I can do is I can go Assault Drone 1, Assault Drone 2. And I can choose which one I want. Yes, that's exactly how I wanted this printer to work in the first place. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to make sure to remind myself to get out of creative mode. We are going to continue scrapping down these old versions of the drones so that we can put them in with the proper versions that have the event controllers. We're going to finish coloring and getting ready this version of the drone that will become our new mainstay. We'll see if we can put as many, probably just only be able to carry 4, But this will have a lot more firepower when the time comes for its desired tactic of staying at range. And in the next episode, we're going to go hit one of these unidentified signals. Not that one, because it's going away in 4 minutes. Maybe this one at 4,795 away. Possibly whatever spawns next, because we do have the ability now, with enough jump drives, to get to a decent jump distance. So we're going to be able to start hunting these down hard. Every single episode, it'll be like, the cadence will be fight an unidentified signal, rebuild from it, think about what we can improve, do a little bit of like weapons development and research and such, fight the next one, more weapons development and research, fight the next one, just continue doing that process for the rest of the series. We've reached this tipping point of where I have all of the stuff I need, and I have it all set up in a way that I can use it, where I can start going in and kicking ass at high speed. I'm excited. The only other thing I can think of in the future is going to be a replacement for this destroyer, or maybe even just making another, just copying this, printing it out, and making it a drone that I'm sending in. So that there's just going to be another whole destroyer flying around, and that would be pretty badass as well. Who knows? Or maybe some form of large grid drone. Ooh, maybe something that's like a large grid drone with a large railgun that sits at 2 kilometers away and just snipes power systems. And that's all it does. I think that would be pretty devastating. But that's going to be for the future. For now, I'm going to clean up these drones and get them working and print off a whole bunch of them and get them all plugged in. Thanks for watching. Good hunting out there for those space engineers.